So I came out here today to take a look at this nuke. When I buckled it up in the wintertime, I only put left one piece of this Reflectix between the lid and the top of the bees, and that's just the top cover. So it's really only got what R2 or R3 value. Now I might be making a mistake here by disturbing the bees. So you know what I wanted to do, I thought about just taking this piece of foam insulation and just laying it on top, putting a brick on top and calling it a day. But what I really want to do is pop this lid off and stick it underneath and then put the brick back on top. So maybe we'll take a look at both ways, and I'm just going to pop the lid up, see what's in there, maybe peel back and see what the bees are doing in here. I can tell this is still an very active hive. Well, inside, you know, an active cluster of bees. They're coming out, and every once in a while one will drop down and die, but whatever. I don't have a lot of spots to put a camera. This is actually my tallest hive, but maybe I can set this camera right here, and you can get a good idea of what we're doing. So I just want to see about popping this cover off. With that, I don't want to disturb the bees too much, so I don't want to make a whole lot of noise. Okay, so I got the lid off here, and let's take a quick look at, this is the inner cover. This is a 3-high nuke, and I just want to see what the inside cover looks like. So this is what I don't want to see. Okay, you see all that frost buildup right there on this hive? This is what I don't want to see. So it was a good thing that I came out here and did this. I don't like frost on the inside cover. Just wasn't enough thermal barrier for them. That will melt. They are way down there, obviously. I can hear them, if you can hear them buzzing. They are way down there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this cover on, and then I'm going to stick this insulation over the top and then cover it back up. So that's what I'm going to do, and then put a block on top of that, and that should give it a better thermal barrier. So okay, so what I did was I went and put a different type of lid on there just to cover it up a little bit better. But so what we found is that the Reflectix doesn't offer a ton of insulative value, at least on the lid. You don't need much on the sides, but you do need some on the top, and that just wasn't enough on that top of that hive. So so I put that 2-inch or 1.5-inch or whatever it is foam insulation on top, and that should offer them quite a bit more R value, and get this hive operating a little bit better. I don't think it affected them. They are way down here. Again, remember yesterday, or remember the other day, I showed you that, or I showed you that hive over there, and all the bees were at the top, and it was dry as a bone. And this hive But that had the insulation on it, and it was working well. And this hive didn't have the insulation, and you saw all that frost on the surface. Wasn't on the lid, but it was on the reflectix. So that reflectix obviously doesn't offer much for insulation, at least on the lid. Again, on the sides, I really don't need that much, so it's you know, it's not as critical on the sides, in my opinion, anyways. But on the lid, it is critical. So I'm gonna have to go out and check some of my nucleus colonies over at the farm and add some insulation as needed to some of my nukes over there, obviously. So good that I checked on them, good that I at least looked at it. This is one of the hives that I'm really interested to see recover, because not only is that my homegrown queen that I hope survives the winter, and she seems to be a really good layer, but I'd love for her to become, well, for this hive to either become my breeder queen or become my cell builder for grafting next year. So until next time, happy beekeeping.